focus a bit on the Atlanta incidents. So like I said, Demola Lookman came on, he scored, they had a penalty, he took the penalty and he missed the penalty. Yeah. And fast forward to I didn't even know anything. It was the next day that I heard. I just saw. I even thought it was. I thought it was a lie. I said, "No, now
Yeah.
Gasperini is an old man now. He can't. He couldn't have said this until I saw that it was legit. I'm like, what? What is going on here? What is going on here? The man actually said that Demola Lookman is the worst penalty taker of all time. That is what he said. And Demola Lookman has played 4 penalties for Atlanta prior to this, and he has scored 4. However, the Retegi that you said our penalty taker is Retegi. Retegi missed the penalty against Arsenal. You and I watched the game. Retegi has played 6 penalties this season. He has missed 2. He scored 4. So where is Ademola Lookman is the worst penalty kick taker of all time? Where is he coming from? Is he coming from something that happened several years ago when it was at Fulham when he attempted a Panenka and he failed? Are you blaming that guy for a Panenka that he did when he was a teenager? He has scored 4 penalties for you, Gasperini. 4. And that's what you could say? And you said it out to everybody? So when this happened, I just remember, this is the same thing that happened to Victor Osimhen when he missed his penalty. That the Napoli official Twitter account was mocking their own player.
Yeah.
And this is an Italy that is rampant with racism. Let's call it what it is, right? Let's call it what it is. And Ademola then came out and he released a statement which was perfectly worded. And he kind of insinuated that, guys, there are so many things that have been happening to me here that I've been managing. I've been riding the wave. Yeah. Just for the sake of, I want the team to proceed. To progress. I don't want to be a cancer and whatever. I've been stomaching a lot of stuff. That's what I read from that. And he said, I'm quite disappointed that this kind of thing will come out. Fast forward to the game they played over the weekend. He scored 2 beautiful goals again. 2 beautiful goals again. So why would you throw your best player under the bus? The guy that won you your first European trophy in like forever. He scored a hat-trick in that game. He was by far your best player. That's Africa's best player. Why would you come out and say it's the worst penalty kick taker of all time, Aki? I've tried to dissect the whole thing. The man came out. I thought he was going to come and apologize. That is earlier on today. He doubled down on what he said. So after the doubling down today, I just said, man, there's nothing else. There's no folder I can file this under that, other than he's a black boy. And you needed a scapegoat. Blame the black boy. You guys can make of it what you want to make of it. Aki.
So I'm going to go to scripture on this one. So
Pastor Aki.
No, seriously.
Youth pastor.
Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Right? So that's who the man is. You know what I mean? It was just an overflow of what was in his heart. You know? And we like saying no this and no peace. Just accept it. If you're raising kids in places like Italy and other places where they're likely to face things like that, tell them the truth and give them, don't let them go out into the world with a quote unquote victim mentality. I'm not advocating that, but at the same time, don't let them go into the world thinking racism doesn't exist. That's just being naive and that's being dumb. That's you not doing the work. That's you not doing your research. And that's you not giving your kids the cultural competence to survive where they're going. You're not protecting them. You're making them less likely to succeed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like telling them the truth and then equipping them with the wherewithal to succeed is the right way to go. I'm not being prescriptive. It's just the truth.
It
So
is.
saying,
I agree.
telling them that racism doesn't exist or they're just like anybody else. They are like anybody. They might even be better than most people. That's not the point.
Yeah.
It only matters how do other people see you, and the people that are doling out opportunities, how do they see? And if you don't believe me, Yinka, Ademola Lookman had a chance to settle the matter within the four corners of the field, right?
Yeah.
Because he's a player. As a doctor, you don't get that chance. As a nurse, you don't get that chance. You know what I mean? And it gets even worse. As a teacher, you don't get that chance, right? Because you and I have had, I don't know, hundreds of teachers in our lifetime. What makes a teacher a great teacher? It's not like you can score a penalty or you can score 30 goals a season. It's not that black and white. There's a lot. That's the thing. The kinds of professions we push our kids into, they're not that black and white.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. So a lot of it is subjective. So you don't know when you see a doctor who is a great doctor. But the converse of that, right, is when people are not used to seeing a black person in that role, then they immediately think that you're not good at what you do. And you don't get a chance. You don't get the first 5 minutes. You don't get the first 5 days. You don't get the first 5 years to quote unquote prove yourself. And after a while, when you're proving yourself all the time, it becomes tiring. I'll tell you, that's where I'm at in my life right now. I'm tired of proving myself. And I no longer want to do it. Not to get too personal, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, how much longer can I keep proving myself? I'm tired of it. But it hasn't changed who I think I am, because the one thing I don't have a problem with, I don't have a problem with knowing that I'm good at what I'm good at. But I'm also not 18 years old. I'm also not 27 years old that Ademola Lookman is, right? So again, to wrap this up, if you keep thinking racism doesn't exist, that's fine. That may be a good defense mechanism for you. If you're telling your kids that, it's like telling them that Santa Claus is a thing, Father Christmas is a thing. You might as well be telling them that. You're doing them a disservice. All right.
On a lighter note, Akin, you mentioned Chris Rock earlier on. You can go back to Chris Rock also, just to let our people know what we're talking about is real. Chris Rock had a joke, one of his earlier comedy specials, where he said, "In my neighborhood, it's me, Jay-Z, and Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige,
Those are the black people in my neighborhood. And guess the white neighbor that I have, guess what he is?
He's a dentist.
He's a dentist." There's a dentist. And he said, "Do you know what a black dentist will have to do to live in my neighborhood? He will have to invent teeth."
I remember. It was one of his best ones.
Chris Rock said. That's what Chris Rock said.
But,
anyway,
but it is what it is.
Let's move on, Aki.